Jesus. That's loud. Just have to see what happens with that one. Good afternoon and welcome. Massive technical difficulties. Yeah, good afternoon, welcome, Chief. Oh! Good afternoon. Yeah, okay, right. Let's try these two. Yeah, good afternoon, welcome, Chief.
Yeah, good afternoon, welcome.
Yeah, we're okay. Bloody hell! We're on in about 10 seconds.
Right.
This
We're on.
is Sheffield Live.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Sqweek. You're listening to 93.2 FM. My name's Luke Crofts. I'm joined
By James Hargreaves.
and he's extremely loud. How are you doing? You alright?
I'm great. It's been a bit of a muddle to get to this stage, hasn't it? We literally come into the studio and nothing was working.
I know. I think I'm broken. I'm going to open the mince pies now. It's the Christmas special. Are you feeling Christmassy?
I am now. There's mince pies in front of me.
I know, yeah. I'll be honest, James. We'll buy one get one free at Tesco, so that's 75 pence back.
That's all right by me.
Yeah, there you go.
Do I get the free ones then?
Well, yeah, because I've already eaten a case. We'll share these. How's your week been anyway?
Been a good one. Been getting into the Christmas spirit this week, doing shopping and going out, for a few drinks and meals and getting ready for the whole Christmas thing coming up this next week.
Does that count as a Christmas T-shirt because it's got stars on it?
Yeah. It's a Doctor Who Christmas T-shirt jumper thing.
Is it actually a Christmas one?
It's based around a Christmas jumper design, isn't it?
What do you think to mine?
That's lovely. Christmas puddings all round.
It's alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit big. I bought it last year when I were a bit fatter. But I'm putting the weight on rapidly. I'm eating my weight in mince pies.
Yeah. I think I might need to lose a bit of weight so that I can have it hanging off me like yours is now.
Maybe we can just swap.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's been in the news this week, James?
Well, this week...
It's been an interesting week. Star Wars has come out, hasn't it?
Yes, I've not seen it yet, but the reviews are rave, aren't they?
Apparently so. Apparently it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm
People have
looking
been-
forward to it.
Well, people have been saying it looks like the original,
Yeah.
which is...
It's no bad thing after the prequels came out. But I'm of the school where the prequels weren't actually as bad as everybody makes out.
Well, I think was it the first one which was a bit poor,
Yes.
as in episode 1.
Yeah,
so
the Phantom
fourth
Menace.
one. Yeah. But then the third one, or the last one, episode 3,
Yeah.
was actually quite good. That's where he went into being the Dark
Yes. Turned into Vader.
Vader. Yeah.
But obviously, you're never going to beat, especially if you're of the old school, where you watched the original trilogy. You're never going to beat the feeling that you had as a kid watching it. So, and I think we'll find that with the kids that watch the Phantom Menace and the original trilogy, they'll grow up with that being their kind of Star Wars as they grew up. And now we're going to get a new generation with The Force Awakens in the next few.
Well, I remember when the third lot of films came out. Sorry, the second lot of 3. I'm getting right in the right mood here. The Tazos were out, weren't they?
Yes, yeah.
And I had loads and loads of Tazos. And you could build like whatever, but you could build like a spaceship with, because they all slotted into each other, didn't they?
Yeah. I'd forgotten entirely that they existed until you just mentioned them.
They were in bags of Walker's crisps, right? And my house was absolutely full. Well, my bedroom anyway was full of Tazos. Everywhere you looked under the settee, Tazos.
That doesn't surprise me with the amount of crisps that you eat.
I don't eat that much crisps.
I don't know, every time we go out, when we go to our friend Faith's house, I think the first thing you do when you get in is straight to the cupboard for either the little sausages or the crisps. Yeah,
actually, no, you're right. I do eat a lot of crisps. We bought one of them big, like, 30-pack bag of crisps from Aldi. They've not lasted very long. Need some more.
I always look at those bags and wonder what it'd be like if it was just one giant bag of crisps. Rather than having individual packets inside, you opened it up and it was just crisps inside.
Yeah, I've always thought that, like, you get a box of cereal or whatever and there's no bag inside, it's just like cereal. Like
Yeah.
it is on the adverts when they go like that. Ooh, that must be awful. It must be soft.
It's, there's nothing worse than a soggy crisp, is there?
No. It's quite depressing, actually.
Mm.
You know, when you open a bag and there's a hole in the bottom and you're like,
Yeah.
just ruins the whole thing.
It's,
We should bring... I don't think crisps would be very good to eat on the radio, though, because you'd be doing everyone's head in.
Yeah, crunch.
So what sort of music have we got lined up for today?
Well, we've got a few that I've been banking up for the last few weeks because we've obviously had more music than we can play each week.
Have we got any Christmassy songs?
There's nothing. I don't think anybody's sent me any Christmassy songs. But just a shout out to all the bands and artists listening, and if you know anyone in a band, then send us some music because we'll give you some radio play. We'll put you on the podcast and get you out there and heard. And you can do it fairly easily. Just contact us through the Facebook page at facebook.com/the Sqweek or on Twitter at twitter.com/the Sqweek, and that's THESQWEEK.
And we're also on the Acast.
Yes, we're on Acast now, which is kind of a big podcast network. So I've been looking at the stats from that, and we're actually big in America at the minute, Luke.
Really?
We're getting lots of listens from the US.
I bet we're massive in Macedonia.
Oh, indeed. and then
Didn't we have some listens from Denmark as well?
Yeah, Denmark and Sweden. Acast originally came out in Denmark and Sweden, so we're getting quite a few.
I don't understand all this podcasting business, you know. I never got it before you put us on it.
It's great. I listen to podcasts all the time, and I work from home, so one of the big things I do each week is just like when I get up, stick on a podcast and listen to it through.
Well, my mate does a podcast every week.
Yeah.
And he has quite a lot of followers as well. I just never really followed it. Ricky Gervais in that podcast, don't they?
Yeah, well, Ricky Gervais was the one that kind of pioneered it about 10 years ago or so and got all the listens. And obviously now Serial's a big thing, which is kind of... last year it was the murder mystery case, and now this year they've started again and they're going into the history of that American soldier that kind of disappeared in Afghanistan. And what actually happened whilst he was away and stuff like that. So there's different formats of podcasts. There's one that we do which is like the music and chat type. There's one where it's just mates chatting and they're interested in themselves. And then there's the storytelling type ones as well.
Well, you mentioned the Afghanistan soldier. It sounds very much like the Homeland first 3 series sort of story that went along.
It's funny because you mentioned Homeland a few weeks ago and I started watching it on Netflix.
How good is it?
It's really good. It's really good.
Well,
we've burnt through the first 3 series now.
I'm slightly behind on the 5th series. I'm sort of on to episode 7 or 8. And it's nearly finished. I think the last one is next week. This week? Tonight. Is it on a Sunday?
I don't know.
I'm catching up anyway. So, yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't watched Homeland, I would definitely recommend it. If you've got Netflix or anything where you can watch it back, I would. It's brilliant.
I've been loving Netflix at the minute. Have you got Netflix?
Yeah.
Well, there's a few things on there that are just amazing, like Master of None. I don't know if you've seen that, which is Aziz Ansari.
I think I've seen it advertised, but I've not watched it.
It's just. I don't know if you've ever seen Louis as well, Louis C.K. from America, and basically it's just a 30-minute kind of something that you can just put on for half an hour and just like chewing gum for the eyeballs kind of thing, but quite funny comedy set in like normal everyday situations.
Chewing gum for the eyeballs?
Yeah.
I've not heard that one before.
You never heard that?
Have you just made that one up?
No, that's a saying, isn't it?
26 years on this earth nearly, and I've never heard that. No, my favourite one undoubtedly is House of Cards.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
I got a bit tired of the last series, though. I think now he's kind of got into power. It's lost its kind of edge a little bit.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it, don't bother. I think the 3rd series probably ended on a sort of less groundbreaking ending than the series 1 and 2 had.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's back. Let's say it's back in February. So, but the good thing about Netflix is they just put it all on at once. So you don't have to wait till next week or whatever. You can just watch it all in one go.
Well, they've been experimenting with doing a weekly one as well, haven't they? I can't remember what series they did, but did release one weekly.
Well, Orange is the New Black is supposed to be amazing. I tried watching it and I couldn't get into it.
I've watched
Not
the
my
first
thing.
2 episodes and then didn't bother with it.
I think I gave it 2 episodes and gave up.
Then like Netflix has got stuff like Jessica Jones as well, which is like the Marvel universe kind of thing, but it's really good. It's almost like film noir kind of style.
I think there's a lot of things that I've missed on Netflix altogether because I've not heard about some of these.
Yeah, it's great. Netflix, people complain about Netflix that there's not much on there, but when you look through Netflix, it's brilliant. There's loads of stuff.
Well, I think series like House of Cards has really opened up the door for doing just exclusives on there. I mean, look at Clarkson and Top Gear.
Yeah,
ex-Top Gear show has gone onto Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So you pay £10. What is it? It works out £10 a month or something.
Yeah.
And you can watch it all.
Well, Amazon Prime
through your internet.
it's what, £79 a year, I think, and you
It's
get
not-
all the next day delivery stuff in that as well.
Through the shopping, yeah. So it's not even £10 a month then. So very good.
It is a bargain. The budget that they've given that new Top Gear show is amazing. It's like nearly 300 million quid.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. But Amazon are massive, aren't they? So they've got the money. And if it gets people, if that can be the flagship for getting everybody, or even, well, I know it's got quite a lot of subscribers anyway, but even more, then it'll pay for itself.
Well, you look at the height of Top Gear a few years ago. You know when Lost was out and Lost was really big and the biggest program in the world. Apparently, Top Gear was downloaded more than Lost was.
Yeah, but
even
Lost,
back then.
didn't they start making Lost up as they were going on?
Yeah, that's another program that I'd never really gotten.
Rubbish. Yeah, no, I couldn't get into it either. Right, what's the first musical feast
First
we're going
one.
to play?
I've been sent this week, and it's a Sheffield band, kind of an indie post-rock band from Sheffield. And last year, kind of almost tying into this year, they got into the time of year, that is. They got nominated as the Song of 2014, but this one's one of their new ones. This is Oh Captain with Half-Life.
Oh, Captain. They followed me on Twitter.
Yes, yeah.
Here they are.
I just can't be found. Oh, I just can't be found. But I believe these things have a half-life. Oh, I'll feel better with time. But I can't see that now. In the same way, I feel naked without a watch upon my wrist. For a time, I felt naked without her close to me. There's no pleasures I turn from the mundane, the minutiae of our days. And breathing at night, arguments for who is wrong or right. Can't be found. I believe these things see that now. I can't see that.
Oh Captain from Sheffield, a really nice song there, and we got a tweet in from Ray who says that she approves of this song. So, you know, it's just like one of the presidential candidates at the end of their adverts when they say, "I am Ray and I approve of this message."
Yeah, it was good, that.
Yeah.
She has actually put that. I approve of this song, with a kiss on the end.
Yeah,
A friendly approval.
Yeah, but yeah, they're around, and you can they'll be touring and stuff next year again. They've been around about 3 years, and the one that I've never actually seen live, but you know, heard of lots and lots and lots. But they sent us a song. They were talking about the Sqweek on Reddit. Yeah, I posted a link, and
What's that?
Reddit's kind of a website, like a bulletin board kind of website, where you can go on and chat about literally anything, and they have subreddits, which is like the sub forums for special subjects. Like there's a Sheffield one.
Oh, that's cool.
We were in there.
A lot of gigs happening last night in Sheffield. Our very good friend Neil Hargreaves put on a cracker at the Plug. Sherlock sold out.
Yeah, it was a night for sold out gigs yesterday, wasn't it? Sherlock's, yeah, apparently Sherlock's, Dirty Sterling and Kong, and they smashed it last night. Apparently, sold out at Plug. What, 3,000-ish people? Like the Sherlocks are just going on to be big and better and everything. They're supporting the Libertines next year. They're going to be
really
massive. Yeah.
Well, Neil was really happy. He'd put a lot of work into doing all the stuff at the Plug last night. So
yeah,
I'm glad it was a success for you, Neil.
Yeah,
and the guys, obviously.
Yeah, and you know, I've seen the Facebook posts from the bands involved, and they've all seemingly really had a great night, and the pictures of it as well. You know, sold out Plug is just amazing. But yeah, we had Def Leppard, their homecoming at the arena last night, supported by Whitesnake.
Yeah, a lot of friends of mine went to see that, and they said they were fantastic. They'd really been looking forward to that in the run up to Christmas. So
yeah, they had an extended set apparently. They brought all the supports forward and extended the Def Leppard set as well. So big treat for everyone that went down there.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then Everly Pregnant Brothers sold out the O2 Academy last night as well.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about this earlier. Toby Foster's not with them anymore.
No, I think there's been a couple of people leave, but there's obviously a million of them, isn't there? So they can carry on.
I told you a million times, James, to not exaggerate. Yes, so just on all things good music, especially for our friend Dave. Hi, Dave. He'll be in Boozer anyway. Did you watch the X Factor final?
I didn't know. No, it's
unsurprisingly
not one of my most favourite things to watch. But
no, I know. We've discussed it.
I've read a lot about it this week, to be fair.
Well, the winner's single, which is normally sort of up there as challenging for number one, it's charted in its lowest position. She's actually gone in at number 9, which you wouldn't think is a disaster, would you?
Yeah, absolutely. But, for somebody their first ever charting position. Number 9's not bad, but for the X Factor, it's a travesty.
Normally going at number 1. And currently, Justin Bieber has got 3 of the top 5. It's number 1, number 2, and number 5, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, in fairness though, the winner's single is a terrible song.
It is awful.
Have you heard it?
I've heard about 30 seconds of it and switched it off. It's horrible.
It's absolutely dire. Don't get me wrong. I think I think I mentioned last week. This girl, she's only 17. She's got an unbelievable voice. She's got a big stage presence. She's definitely the worthy winner. She's the best singer, the best act. But the song they've given her is rubbish. She's sung it lovely. She's sung it perfectly. But the song is just rubbish. So I'm surprised it's even gone in at number 9. I was expecting it to be like in the 30s or something. So
yeah, I've been doing some reading on it this week because after the series ends, they release all the statistics of what the votings were each week, like the exact numbers and stuff like that. Right. There's a blog that I came across which is called Sofa Bet, and they actually go in depth, like talking about how the producers have manipulated it from week 1 and how they've got people to vote for certain things, and manipulated how people look on stage and what the voting resultant voting of that was and stuff like that. It's really interesting to read.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because Che Chesterman, who everybody thought would get, well, he was touted as one of the winners, as a winner from early on.
Yeah.
He didn't make it to the final, and Reggie and Bolly did, who were awful.
And then Reggie and Bolly, apparently, I didn't watch it, but apparently they got purposefully given a bad song to do. So it manipulated the final vote.
Well, they do that every year, though.
Yeah.
They pick a song that will... They both sing the same winner single, but it always suits the best act.
Yeah, of course.
So they've been doing like clubby anthems because that's what they do. Yeah. And then they've been given this ballad to sing, so it was always going to be a disaster, and it was on the night. They were shocking.
But you looked at the beginning of the series, and even before it started... that Louisa was apparently being groomed by the producers anyway.
Right.
She originally went to Britain's Got Talent and auditioned for that, and then when they told her to go to the X Factor instead...
She'll have been too young.
Well, maybe. They told her to audition for the X Factor instead, and have apparently been manager in the meantime.
They do that. I think last year or the year before, it might have been before that. They'd got this. She was a Pink tribute act, and they approached her and said, "Oh, you should audition for this." And I think they'd told her, do what you do because it's really good. I mean, she was good. And then the judges said, "Oh no, you're too much like Pink. You've not got your own." And then obviously she went balmy, and everybody were like, "Oh, look at this idiot," blah blah. And that's what she'd been told to do by the producer. The producers do it every year.
Yeah, of course they do. And it's a TV program at the end of the day. It's not about the musical talent such.
Yeah. To be fair, I think half of it I agree with. I mean, well, I don't know. What am I trying to say? The beginning bit, before they're all at the live studios doing the performance every week, is just rubbish because they wheel out the bewildered, thinking that they can sing and they can perform and write their own songs and the rest of it, and everybody knows that they can't, but they put them on so everybody can laugh at them.
It's entertainment value. That's all it is, and they only put through because the judges obviously don't see everyone. The producers pick who's going to go through, and it's almost like baiting people to laugh at the more unfortunate singers. Yeah, I think it's quite a rotten format in that respect.
But it's that. See, that's why The Voice has been scrapped, because it would focus more on the singing. But
well, funny you should mention boring, that. I saw an advert for The Voice yesterday. It's back on BBC One in January, and that's the last series on the BBC. It's going to ITV.
I thought they'd already got rid of it.
No, they're doing one last series, and they've replaced Tom Jones with Boy George, and Paloma Faith's on it this year as well. Instead of Rita Ora. Yeah. She's obviously gone to the X Factor. Yeah.
They called a bit of a stir getting rid of Sir Tom Jones, didn't they?
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, his contract had expired, so they just didn't renew it, so it's not like he got sacked.
Well, they're all on yearly contracts, apparently. I think what irked him was that he'd been preparing for it as normal, and then the day that they made the announcement that Boy George was going to be on it, they told him that he wasn't.
So he'd not planned anything the year ahead. Bearing in mind he's got a new album out.
Yeah.
So it annoyed him slightly. Very much. Just a shout out. Adele's at number 3.
Oh dear. With that still hello.
How
long's that been in there?
A long time, and she's top of the album charts as well. Yeah. Coldplay were on the final. Very strange performance.
I've not seen it.
It was bizarre. It was he was bent over for the whole of his performance.
Right.
It was strange. He was just sort of singing like this.
That works on radio.
Yeah, I know. But that was for your benefit. But very strange. I kept saying, I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he bent over? Is he doing his back in? And then he sort of got up, and then he did the same.
They've always had that kind of eccentric element to performances, haven't they?
Yeah, I know, but the video for what is the song called? An Adventure of a Lifetime or something. I don't know. But there's monkeys in that, and then they've got people dressed up as monkeys on the stage.
Right.
That I could deal with, but why was he bent over? It was just it was strange. It was like the monkeys had got some strange force I don't know.
How
I'll leave it there, but it was very bizarre. And then when he'd finished, he were absolutely covered in sweat. It must have been like, I don't know what. I don't know why, because he weren't moving much. He was just absolutely bathed in sweat.
Bit of lights and stuff, weren't it? One for the studio.
Yeah, all them bodies.
Yeah. Is it Wembley the final?
Wembley Arena.
Yeah. So it'll be warm in there, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose.
You ever seen the video for? It's a long time ago now, but Basement Jaxx when they did "Where's Your Head At?" With the monkeys. That's one of the freakiest videos.
It's
ever.
weird. It's very, very weird. So, what have we got next? James Hargreaves.
We got a band that I saw about 2 years ago. And what used to be Bar Abbey on Abbeydale Road, it was a gig that we put on there.
Is that where the snooker centre is?
Yes, it was next door to the snooker centre. It's now Picture House Social.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And still the Picture House.
Yeah.
But this band, we put on a gig there, and they were coming from Manchester, and on the day, the drummer got really ill and ended up being hospitalised, and he ended up on a drip in the hospital.
Oh, God.
But this is how professional they were as musicians, that they wanted to fulfil their gig. The rest of the band came and did the sound check for the drummer, and literally about 10 minutes before they were due on stage, the drummer turned up with the drip still in and started drumming. Turns out that his mum had actually broken him out of the hospital. He'd had to climb through a window. His mum was waiting as a getaway driver, drove him to the gig, then straight after the gig drove him back to the hospital and let him back in.
This was while the drip was still connected
Yeah.
to his arm,
Yeah.
so he's drumming away.
Yeah. It was absolutely crazy, but they've changed the frontman since then. But this is a song from back in that time, and they're called Puppet Rebellion. This one's called Chemical Friends.
Chemical Friends. You listen to the Sqweek on 93.2 FM. Give us a shout. We're on the Twitter at the Sqweek.
A friend for life, or so you thought. A judgment, chemicals distort. You're all the same, the best of friends. A grown-up game of let's pretend. You're only trying to fit in, lying, basking in their sin. Initiation of the night, staying out until first light. It's not the way your life should be. Get out if you want to. Get out if you want to. It's not too late to make amends. Your ties can be broken. Your ties can be broken with chemical friends. Night, the walk of shame, the endless chemicals to blame. You're near the end, a carousel. You see the grace from which you fell. A wilderness, time to recede. Another cycle that repeats. Initiation of the night, staying out until first light. It's not the way your life should be. Get out if you want to. Get out if you want to. It's not too late to make amends. Your ties can be broken. Your ties can be broken with chemical friends.
Hey, what's up? This is Craig David, and I'm right here on Sheffield Live 93.2 FM.
Chemical Friends.
Yeah,
I like that
Friends, by Puppet Rebellion. They play Sheffield quite a bit now. I think that gig a couple of years ago was their first gig here.
Where are they from again?
They're from Manchester.
Oh, Manchester, yeah.
It's very kind of indie-based scene. I think they played the Rocking Chair in November, Puppet Rebellion, and they're planning to come back early next year.
That's what I was going to ask, actually. You mentioned Kong earlier. My mates supported Kong sort of around April time, I think.
Yeah.
June, maybe? May? Earlier on in the year, anyway.
Yeah.
Kong, yeah, they were really good.
Yeah, they are. I think they're one of those. Neil, for a gig like the Sherlock sold out for the support. He wants to get in bands that are energetic and similar kind of style.
Well, I'm just wondering if they got it through Neil, because my mate Tom knows Neil, and Neil obviously put that gig on for Kong, so I'm guessing that's why.
Probably.
Shoot the Poets, that's what they called.
Yeah,
my mate's band.
Yeah, I've seen them.
You've seen them?
Yeah.
Did you see them that night? Were you there that night? I don't remember seeing you. We don't know anywhere.
No, I don't. No, I think I seen them at Plug a while ago. I think it was when the Indie Project was at Plug. Not the Indie Project, Proper Local.
I can tell you because I remember taking a picture.
Wow.
Of the band that
great
night.
radio. I'll show you a picture.
Anyway, yeah. Oh, so Mr. Eclectica sent us a message back saying, "Who's this?"
Who's that? Yes.
I'll reply to him later.
Listen.
We're hoping. Well, I'm hoping anyway. I think after the new year, Shoot the Poets are going to be recording, so we can get some of their stuff on. Because they're really good live. They're just not recording anything yet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So what about the football then, James? The best manager in the world has been sacked from Chelsea.
Yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? They got the title last season. They've had a terrible season, haven't they? But Jose Mourinho, it's a bit of a weird one. I kind of expected him to stick with him a bit, but Abramovich isn't that patient, is he?
No, and he seems quite, for a businessman, he seems quite ruthless.
Yeah.
And he wants an instant return on his money, which you can understand. And it's been finally confirmed that Pep Guardiola of Bayern Munich is not going to be there next season. So they've got Gus Hiddink at Chelsea till the end of the season, and it's probably odds on that Pep's going to go to Chelsea. What do you reckon?
Well, what I would like to happen is to see Pep going to either Man City or Man U, and Mourinho doing the other one. That'd be interesting. If Mourinho went to, say, Man City and Pep Guardiola at Man U, that would be a proper rivalry, wouldn't it? Yeah,
well, whoever leaves the Premier League won't be going to, if anybody, let's say. I mean, Louis van Gaal's still contracted until 2017, and Pellegrini is doesn't run out next year, does it? At the end of the season.
I'm not sure, but contracts don't mean anything nowadays. It's always written into a contract that they can pay you off.
Well, Jose Mourinho's probably made about £22 million out of being sacked from Chelsea twice.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Very crazy.
That amount of money just to be told to leave your job is crazy.
Yeah,
the whole golden handshake. But one thing we do know is that Ancelotti won't be in the Premier League next year because he's going to Bayern.
Yeah, a very, very, well, world-class, obviously, football manager, sacked from Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Again, another club with ruthless people in charge that will just sack anybody.
I read some stats earlier about Mourinho and in comparison to Wenger at Arsenal, and in the time since Arsenal last won a title, Mourinho has been sacked by Chelsea twice. He's
won the league 2 or 3 times, the FA Cup, all the rest of it. Yeah, I've seen that.
And other in other countries, he's won titles. He's won the treble.
Interrail.
Won the treble at Inter. And
thing is, though, Arsene Wenger's working with different facilities and a different remit. I don't think they're challenging him with winning league because he's got too many young players that they want to develop instead. But for what he's spent, he's guaranteed Champions League football. So that's probably the only profitable Premier League club.
Yeah. It is interesting to see Arsenal fans though, and because the club's really patient with him, and every year I always see a period, like every single year, where the Arsenal fans want Wenger out.
But the thing is,
and then turns it around at the end of the season.
You say the club's patient with him. If he's exceeding, you don't know what the club's targets are.
Yeah.
That he's setting him. So if he's exceeding or achieving his targets, then they're not being patient with him. I found the picture. That's it.
Right.
I only saw it this morning. I'm like, oh, Kong. Sure, you've mentioned them before.
Right. So that was March. Isn't it?
So it's ages ago actually. It's 9 months.
Back in March. Where was that?
That's Plug that.
All right.
But one of the guys has got married since, so I don't know.
It might have been the same night I was in there, because I'm sure I've seen him at Plug before.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember seeing you there, but then again, I don't remember what I did this morning. So, well, obviously looking for this picture that I couldn't find again. Okay. So yeah, I mean, just while we're on football, Sheffield Wednesday playing Wolves at Hillsborough today, and we're 2-1 up. Sheffield Wednesday 2-1 up.
Yep. Nice.
Forestieri, 2 goals.
Yeah.
Great player.
Yeah, he's transformed the team, hasn't he? He's setting up all the goals. He's doing really well.
Instrumental in the victory against Arsenal
that
we've just been talking about.
Yeah, indeed.
So
it's a wonder whether we've got anyone actually listening, or whether they're all at the match.
They'll probably be all at the match. Yeah, Dave will be in pub.
Yeah.
Are you going to go and see Star Wars? Do you think?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go and see it. I've just been waiting until all the initial hype dies down, and I don't like it when it's like massively full in a cinema, and you're always going to get the people chatting away or answering the mobiles or whatever. It really annoys me.
Yeah, it's either the mobiles. It's between mobiles and crisps for me.
Oh, yeah,
crisps are awful in cinemas. They really are. Carrier bags. People bring things in carrier bags.
Yeah,
I remember going to watch a film with my sister, and this woman had brought whoever, and she'd got a carrier bag full of stuff, and every 5 seconds, carrier bag. My sister ended up shushing her because it was just causing that much aggro. People were just couldn't concentrate on the film because this woman kept
it
foraging
takes
in a
you
carrier
right
bag.
out of the moment, doesn't it?
It's very, very distracting. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I've been considering seeing it in the IMAX, because Sheffield is one of only 2 places that have the full 70mm IMAX. So it's how the film is made and supposedly how you're supposed to view it.
You pay for it though, don't you?
Yeah,
you do pay for it. It costs a fortune going to Cineworld anyway, let alone IMAX.
Well, have you seen the new VIP experience they're doing?
No.
It's like £30 a ticket, and I'm not sure exactly what you get altogether, but I believe you get greeted at the door as you walk in.
Yeah.
You go into a private area with a buffet.
I think Neil was telling us about this last week. Yeah. So you get a buffet, you get a drink and a nice seat and all the rest of it.
I think there's a pay bar there. I think you still have to pay for alcoholic drinks at least. But yeah, you get like reserved seating and stuff.
It's even drinks you're like looking at £4.5 quid.
Yeah.
To come in a plastic pot. That's no. I mean, to be honest, I still want to go and see Last Hunger Games. I've not seen that yet. I'm quite happy to wait till it comes out and watch it on telly. To be quite honest,
yeah,
it's not. I mean, I got really excited about the new James Bond, and I was a bit disappointed. So I can't remember.
I've still not seen that yet. I've not been to the cinema for a while, so
I can't remember the last great film I went to see at the cinema.
No, I'm just trying to think. Can't think of the last film I saw at the cinema, to be honest.
Give me a minute. No, I don't know. Did you see Avatar?
Yes,
because that was the first big 3D.
And that was how 3D should be done. It obviously took them like 6 or 7 years to make, apparently. But
they're making in the process making the next one, aren't they?
Yeah. What really got me about that was like the first big 3D one. It wasn't the 3D effect as you're watching the film. It was the background stuff. So they had like 3D computer screens in the background of the scene, which had a 3D display in it. So it was like 3D within 3D. The depth of that film was awesome.
Yeah, and to be fair, the narrative was good. That's the important thing. The story was really good. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed Avatar. But I think the problem with 3D after that was they just did it for everything. It's like Toy Story. They made Toy Story in 3D.
Yeah.
Why? What's the point? You don't get anything extra from it.
No. And it's whether they actually make it in 3D originally and shoot it in 3D, or whether they post-produce it.
Yeah.
The post-production on a lot of them has been really, really dodgy.
Well, you may or may not know that I like U2. I'm a U2 fan.
Yeah, indeed.
And when I was in Sydney about 7 years ago now, we went to see U2 3D at the IMAX in Sydney, and it was unbelievable. I'd been to see a 3D film probably when I was little. You know, when you had the red and blue lenses. Yeah. This was proper 3D, and I'd never seen film in 3D, and it was unbelievable because the screen was all curved and everything. It was almost in between a theatre and a cinema, and it came out, and it was really, really, you know, it immersed you in the film completely. It was brilliant. It was really good, and that's what 3D should be.
Good 3D is amazing.
Obviously, if you don't like U2, it would have been the most awful experience of your life. But I thought it was quite good.
I don't get. They're obviously a big band. They're quite an old band now. But I don't get the hate for them as much.
I think the hate is for Bono.
Yeah.
But that's on a completely separate matter.
But again, I think, like we said last week with Kanye West, it's all about personalities, and you know, he's obviously done silly things. Bono has over the past. He's a nice, a good singer of a good band, a decent band.
Very good band. We're talking about U2 as it always seems to come up. I think it's probably me that brings it up. Some of the film scores they've done have been excellent, like Batman. Yeah. Didn't they do Gangs of New York?
Yes, I think they did.
The Hands That Built America.
Yeah.
I think the only one that's left is to do a Bond song.
Well, maybe so.
That'd be awesome. Right, what's the next song, James?
This was a bit of an indie funk band. They supported Pride's on the current tour. They're from, again, over the Pennines in Manchester, and they played Crystal for Tramlines, and this is No Hot Ashes, Goose.
I like the sound of this.
Keep me sane. Just a strong dose of morphine, no, she helps to ease the pain. Is she imaginary? Is she imaginary? Is she imaginary? She's got me dancing. Is she imaginary? Is she imaginary? Is she She's got me dancing. She's got me dancing. She's got me dancing. Goose. Cupid, no, it's clear to see that I'm her fool. I'm lovesick and stupid, no, she's too good, no, she's as cool. Whatever kind of weather, she come to see me in red mountain leather. Imaginary? Is she imaginary? Is she imaginary? She's got me dancing. Is she imaginary? Is she imaginary? Is she her?
Goose. No hot ashes. I loved them. They played Tramlines, as I said, at the Crystal Bar, and they were really good in the afternoon.
What's it like for gigs in the Crystal then?
It's really good. They've obviously changed it around this year. They've refurbished, but over the past few years, they kind of build a stage at the back, next to where the little house is, which sounds bizarre in a pub. And they put big lighting rig in, big sound rig, and the bands that are on as well. Obviously, Neil organises it, and you get some of the best bands from across the country to play. It's well worth going to. In fact, this week I've just seen him saying that he's starting to book the bands for next year's as well. So
really,
yeah, looking forward to see who's coming to that.
Indeed. Just had a text in from Paul Sellers, who does Eclectica before us. He's done his back and he slips his back, so he's in a bad way.
Oh no!
Not an ideal time before Christmas, so hopefully you get better soon, Paul, if you're listening.
Yeah, hopefully so. So that's why he wasn't here.
It's all coming together.
Yeah.
The pieces of the puzzle.
But yeah, bless him. But yeah, talking of bad backs, have you ever done any kind of funny falling? Have you fell over
funny
recently?
Falling? I did my back in, putting my shoe on, but we know about that. Falling. I once, the first time I ever went to town, I'd been to this really weird gig at Plug, and I'd never been to town before, and Plug was full of the artificial smoke, and I ended up walking back home, and I came via the steps at the Crucible. For some reason, why I went that way, I don't know. And I thought somebody was chasing me. I know, I was very, very drunk, and I fell down the steps there, but that was a while ago.
Well, the worst.
Why do you ask, James?
Well, just before that, the worst steps I've ever fallen down are the metal ones in Corporation, going from upstairs to downstairs.
Oh, yeah. Dangerous.
Fortunately, I was quite drunk, so I didn't feel it, but the next day I had bruises all down my back. But yeah, I just saw this story today about Essex Council and their care services are planning to charge £26 to pick up an elderly person when they've fallen over, which I find utterly bizarre.
What?
Yeah, so if they get called out to like an old person that's fallen over in their home, they're apparently gonna charge.
I thought you meant just if they were walking through the city centre or something, they'd have like water, ambassadors.
Well,
like we've got that give you a fine for dropping a litter or whatever.
I wouldn't be surprised with them charging for it.
Right, I see.
But yeah, £26. Apparently, £26 a year, an additional charge on top of the normal care service, the care line service that they do in Essex. But yeah, if your gran falls over and she can't get up, bless her, then they'll come out for £26.
Are these the warden control flats with a red rope?
I'd imagine so. Yeah, it's part of what they call the care line service in Essex. So I'd imagine it's that kind of thing. Are they
going to add it on to the average, or are they just going to add it on altogether? That doesn't make sense. Are they just going to add it on, or are they going to charge you every time you fall over?
No, it's an add-on to. They already apparently they charge an annual fee, and they're going to add £25.92 onto the annual charge. And there's around about 2,500. There's around 2,500 elderly Essex residents who could be affected by this. So £26 a throw. That's not a bad bit of money for a care line.
The thing is, the elderly and infirm are going to fall down quite a bit, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it sounds like a moneymaker to me.
But what
it should all be included in the service if that's what they, well, I'm glad I don't live in Essex, and I'll tell you that.
But what if they got there and they found out that this person hasn't paid the £26? Did they say, "Oh no,
we're leaving you on the floor"?
Yeah, bye.
Awful. How bizarre!
It's a shocking state of affairs. I just saw it in the Independent this morning and thought it was crazy.
Well, I'd fall down occasionally at home because our stairs in Hillsborough are really steep.
Oh yes, yeah, in the terraced houses there. Yeah,
ridiculous. If you only got socks on as well.
Yes,
it's like lethal. Straight down.
Well, our mate Dave, he used to have a glass door at the bottom of his, and so he's changed it for a wooden one now. But
I didn't know that. I take it somebody's gone straight through it then.
Well, no, they took it out because they were scared of falling into it, and probably for the best because Dave has fallen down those stairs before now.
Yeah, many a time.
Well, you're right. They're really steep stairs, those ones, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes. We were talking about Taylor Swift last week, weren't we?
She's copyrighting 1989, the year I was born.
And we were bigging her up for supporting, the artists and making sure that people get paid right. And then just this week, I saw a story about some artwork that she used to promote her album that she used on kind of Instagram and Facebook and stuff. And the artist has actually complained on their website that she's not asked for permission to use it, and when he's brought it up, then she's refused to pay him for use of his work.
So she's trying to patent something whilst ripping off some other people.
Yeah, I just find it a bit odd.
Allegedly,
I find it a bit odd because she has been supportive of all the artists and stuff like that. And
what is it she's stolen? Have you got a picture for the benefit of me?
It is a picture of a fox. Which she used to promote 1989 before the album came out, and it's only something that she put on.
So he's drawn that then, as a or she?
Yeah, he's drawn that, or somebody's copied a version that he's drawn.
It's the same.
Yeah,
it
looks exactly the same. In the end, people have apparently agreed to pay as long as he gives the money to charity. And obviously, as a budding artist that uses it as his means of earning a living.
If he's drawn that, then that's his.
It's crazy when we were bigging her up about the Apple stuff, and we were saying she supported all the young small artists.
It destroys her entire argument about the subject, doesn't it? If she's going to do that, then especially with this thing about trying to patent somebody drawing 1989 on with a marker pen.
Yeah. It's just again, I think you can patent the font type and the design of it, but not the actual act of doing it. Surely.
Yeah, that's a completely different beast because that's copyright.
Yeah. It's got this work. It's been used, and apparently they've agreed to pay up to the extent that he has to give it to charity.
And how much is that? Do we know?
I don't know.
World's gone mad, James.
Yeah,
world's gone mad.
Absolutely mad. So, shall we have one last track in the last 10 minutes?
We'll have some more musical genius.
Okay. Well, this one is an act that I saw a few weeks ago, and he opened up a night that I went to. I think Resonate were playing, Cavaliers were playing, and if you picture the scene, is this tiny little guy with a massive beard. It kind of looks like he comes from, I don't know, a Lord of the Rings film or something, bless him. And then he's got a guitar, and I thought, it's going to be your average kind of acoustic guitar guy that's opening up. No, he got up on stage. He kicked in some electronic backing and then started singing in a high-pitched voice. It just absolutely.
And this is that?
Yeah, absolutely blew me away. This one's a guy called LiVVO, and this one's called You.
Can't wait to hear this one. DJ Skii's up at 3 with platinum plates. This is the Sqweek.
Surround me.
That's LiVVO, and you. He's a great little guy. He is. I keep saying little. But he's a small guy.
He's
I'm
not
not
a
being
dwarf.
disparaging.
He's just a small human.
You're not supposed to use dwarf nowadays.
You can. It's the M word you shouldn't say.
All right. Okay.
Don't say it.
Right. Well, I'm not saying it.
Good. It's DJ Scrooge on next with Platinum Plates.
Well, he's just told us that he really loves Christmas. He's looking forward to it so much.
We
I would
can't.
love that period of time if I was a pagan.
Yeah.
We're not going to go there when
No,
you're sure, are we?
absolutely not. We'll leave it. We'll leave all that behind. Okay. So, what have you got planned during the week then, James Hargreaves?
Sweet. Well, it's Christmas week, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
You know, I've not actually put my tree up yet. I'm gonna do that later tonight.
You don't feel like Christmas.
No.
I've been eating mince pies since September, so
Well, yeah, that's it. I was saying earlier, you should review every mince pie you have.
I think I might. I think I've tried them all.
Rate the best ones. What's the best one for us?
For me,
Yeah.
definitely the Aldi Special Selected ones. £1.15 for a pack of 6. Beautiful.
Well, we've been having these Mr. Kipling's ones this afternoon, haven't we? And they're not that great, are they?
I'm not buying any more, put it that way.
No.
Absolutely not. 75 pence a box, though, so...
Yeah. So what are you up to this week then, Luke?
Well, I'm working till Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And then they're going out Christmas Eve for our mate Dave's birthday, aren't we?
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely, we'll be having a few... Well, we'll be having a few drinks. I'll probably be having a sing-out karaoke.
Yeah, yeah. A bit of Human League.
Oh, nailed on. All of the Sheffield stuff. Beautiful South.
Yeah.
Well, he's hauling in really, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Lives in Sheffield now, doesn't he, I think? I'm not sure.
Yeah, he supports Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us on the Sqweek today. You can catch the podcast on Acast and follow us on the Twitter, the Sqweek, and you can find out all the stuff about us on there.
Yeah. DJ Ski's next.
Woo! Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh!
We're not good at closing the show.
We need to work that out.
I was coming out thinking, I thought this was a Sheffield band music show, not bloody mince pies.